So guys, as independent artists, as makers, as creatives, as designers, all of us are working on something that's incredibly important to us, that's precious, that we are trying to get out into the world. Live. Now the problem is we get attached to this thing that we're creating and we get to this point where we're ready to release it. Then we hit the stumbling blocks. Oh man, we've got to get it out into the world. And you're full of gumption and you're ready for it. But what happens? You get in the throes of your feelings, harangued by doubt, and then suddenly it just stops. So how can we counteract the temporariness of our moods, the vagaries of our feelings? So I'm turning this idea over in my mind at the moment because I've got these 12 new songs and I want to get them into the world. And I'm very aware that day to day I can swing from here to there. 1 second really enjoying the ideas and in the flow. And then the next, it's like the idea of actually putting something out on social media. So it's all too easy to be totally scattergun in your approach to how you release stuff. Now, many of us in creative arts, we're trying to work on something, we're trying to get it out, we're trying to promote it, we're trying to release it, but we struggle with the social media side. Why? It's often a sense of overwhelm between what you're actually trying to create, focusing your time and energy on that, and then the act of distributing, cutting up social media, building, creating assets, distributing it over different platforms, trying to figure out an effective strategy. And the result is that we leave it all to chance, have this sort of scattergun, machine gun approach. And the problem is as soon as you're leaving it to your feelings, you're completely dependent on the vagaries of the emotion that you happen to have and to feel that day. And that is always a huge problem, not just for consistency in getting something out, but also for the effectiveness of the release itself. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give myself a weekly checklist so that every single week I know in advance what I'm aiming for, and then I can work towards that irrespective of my feelings. So this is something that I will be accountable to in myself. It's giving me a clear aim. It's giving me a pathway, a map, a way to navigate through this terrain of trying to get something out as a solo artist, as an independent maker, without the support of a vast company or external help. This is your challenge as an indie. We've got that DIY spirit. It's up to you, man. It's up to us to say to ourselves, right, what does it mean to me week by week to live up to this thing that I've created? So just a quick project update. So I'm working on the artwork for the first single, which is called Vampires. And I've decided this time that I'm going to try and handle everything myself. So from the artwork to the upload to the videos, the most important thing for me with this set of songs, with this release, is that there's this tactility, that there's this closeness with you guys. I want it to be a real independent DIY punk rock spirit, rock and roll project, an arts project. Either this one, super simple, slightly out of focus, but just has the vibe somehow, or this one down here. So guys, just a quick peek at the artwork. I'm struggling away with it, trying to make myself as you like into sort of one-man major label. So lots to learn. If I want to release my own music, I have to create a record label. So I am now the proud owner of a record label. It's Croft Records. If you want to release a song, send it to Croft Records. Croft Records. Don't trust us. So then the advantage of doing things yourself, it's just that you're always learning. Wonderful to outsource if you have the money. But at the end of the day, there are all these tools out there, and it gives you this sense of closeness, this sense of touchability, tactility with what you're creating. And I think that that's a wonderful and important thing nowadays, because for me, I feel like I'm reducing this distance between you as the listener. You know that every aspect has come from the artist. Okay guys, I think I've settled on it. I think this is the one. Oh, look at these guys. So this is the wonderful thing about doing it yourself, is you're so inside every single aspect. So as I learn about all of this, it's beginning to speak to me. Tinkering, prototyping, dabbling, just getting involved with it. And this is what I'm really focused on, trying to work out, okay, what's the language of this release? What is the release asking for? How can I do it in such a way that I, as one individual, can be more effective even perhaps than a major label? Well, we'll see if that happens. You can become a punchy David in the face of Goliath by choosing to determine to make your own path, to learn new stuff, to experiment, to find different ways to navigate through the maze of a potential release. So anyway, having come in here to write out a list of assets for each month of the release, I realized I don't know in advance what I'm trying to do. So I'm actually just figuring stuff out as I set up the release itself. So the next stage, now that I've got the artwork made, is I need to go on to DistroKid, which is the platform that I'll be using to distribute the song to Spotify, Apple Music, or the other ones. And we're going to get it out. So it's really exciting. Artwork is done at last. My one main goal this week is going, got to figure out a release date first of all. What's the date? At the moment, it's the 9th. Oh my, it's the 9th already, so I've got to get it out somehow. You're going too fast. You must release it in 2026. We have to set everything up professionally. It's fucking ridiculous, man. I'm getting it out right now. I'm doing it right now. It's not up to you. It's up to me. Independent, DIY, punk, rock. This is so wild, guys. I'm literally uploading the artwork that I've just created into DistroKid, which will syndicate it through to Spotify. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna select this image, vampire single. Dum, 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 dum. Yes! That's it! Boom! Sometimes when you feel stuck, you forget that you've actually already been doing things that are contributing to your path. The energy that you've put in backwards moves forward to you. There is this invisibility of energy that comes from both our own lives and the outside world. And then sometimes it suddenly starts manifesting. So everything takes much longer than you think. I mean, with this artwork, the amount of miniature things, there are so many details that you don't anticipate. And you just remember, be patient with yourself. Be patient with your own capacity to learn. You sometimes get a bit down to, another step, because there's always 5 more steps than the one that you anticipate. Keep following the daisy chain. Keep doing your best. Keep trying to learn. You will get there. We get there together. So I've walked out of this wonderful winter wonder. This is so expressive of my feelings after the last year. Just today, getting the first song uploaded, getting the artwork finished. Like after all this time, it feels like there is some type of momentum. There are so many times in our life where we're just trying to put so much energy in. It feels like inch by inch. And it feels like regardless of what you do, it's so hard to get it moving forward. But today was one of those wonderful days, and it is extraordinarily beautiful. Look at this, unbelievable. And I remember the words of Herman Hesse when he said that he remembers that all the million pieces of life's game are in his pocket. What have you got through it? You keep ticking along, and you have the other side. You have the eureka. You have those moments where you have the breakthroughs. You must remember that when you're going through those times. It's too easy to forget, and we have some type of inclination, perhaps nowadays. We're so filled with stuff. One of the consequences is that we push ourselves under. We think too badly of ourselves, too much negative self-speak. And there's good stuff in the world, and there's good stuff for you out there. So remember that and keep walking towards it, because that's all we can do.